And we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Mike Copera with podcastcondition.com, and we're here with our 66th episode for the second time. Our 66th episode. That's how I'm saying that fast 3 times. Of Whatcha Drinking. And so I'm here with Dan. Thanks for joining, Dan, first of all.
Hey. Yo.
But second, I wanted to apologize for not. Yeah, sorry. I was giving you the opportunity to say hi. We were going to do this episode last. Hangouts was not working, so we couldn't do a hangout. Which means we couldn't record and upload it to YouTube. So we did a show. Pretty much, it was a little more unedited. Brandon in his language, which was nice to see occasionally. No, but it was not recorded. We did a show. We talked about everything that was going on. Since it had been a couple of weeks because of the fact that we didn't do a show when I was on vacation in Michigan, and so yeah, it had been a while. So we did a show anyways, but it's lost. It'll never be found again, and we did it as a video call. So. But we are back, and we're doing the episode 66, like it says in the title, again. So, so we did do the wheel last week, as we always do, and we spun it, and it landed on pre-mails, which we've already discussed. You don't have one of at this point, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. If anyone's watching live, or if anyone's ever occasionally, we do have 1 or 2 live viewers for some reason. I don't know who they are, but thank you for watching. We don't currently have any now. I'm looking down at the count, and I don't see any. But we do have subscribers on YouTube and on podcastcondition.com, so thank you for joining. There's a couple that have recently. And you know what? I'd actually like to mention them just so we can mention that as we work along on this show. We've been doing over a little bit over a year, and anyone on the channel on YouTube, go all the way back to the beginning if you like. It's not pretty. Some of the shows are pretty horrendous back then, but it was fun, and it's actually fun going back to see how the shows progressed. We used to do. Were you on the show when we used to do a game at the end of every episode?
No, I wasn't. Oh man, that must have been way back.
It was. So we got added this past week on Google Plus by Michael Honest Beer Review. So thank you for joining us, and if you watch this episode, thank you. And I'm trying to see if there's anyone else. I know that we had a new subscriber on YouTube. We also had. No, that's not somebody beer-wise. I do get. Some followers that are kind of Spanish, if you will, so I won't be mentioning those. But we also had someone join podcastcondition.com. His name is Jaroslaw Play with Life. That's what his name on YouTube is. So, or whatever his blog is, I should say. I forget what he was into, but I think. It wasn't totally beer related, but anyways, thank you for joining and subscribing to us. As always, we're also on Facebook. We're on Twitter, obviously, as you see right here, and as you can see, we have the website at podcastcondition.com, which is now 100% way up to date. Every episode is listed on there now, and you can go back on our blog and do it that way. Which I do want to do more writing on now that I've got that kind of looking pretty and everything. I want to thank my wonderful wife for fixing that while we do these episodes. She's downstairs kind of fixing it up. So I do have a pre-mail, but I do always let the guests go first. So Dan, what you drinking this week? What did you bring to the episode?
I have brought the dreaded Avery 21, which is their 21st anniversary ale. It's what do they call it? It's an Imperial India style brown ale. So basically a really hoppy brown ale. I haven't tried it yet. I poured it out here. It got about 2 fingers of foam on it, and you can see it's lacing up pretty well now. It's kind of died down to a about a half finger of foam. It smells a lot like a pale ale. You know, some tropical fruit notes, not as much citrusy. A little bit of
Are
caramel.
you hearing me, dude?
Yeah, I am now. I know there's a delay going on because you'll like it freeze up. I'm not sure if I'm doing the
Okay.
same thing.
Okay. There's a little bit of a delay, and there's also your audio's coming in and out over and over.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the headphones or
No, it's not the headphones because I'm using the internal mic in the
I don't know.
computer.
Um,
Okay.
oh, I got you. Well, I'll let you fiddle with that a little bit if you need to, but hand signals. Clicking your nose. Blow your nose.
No, I'm just fucking around now. Oh shit.
Well, anyways, I did. Go ahead, talk, please. I'm gonna stop.
No, I was just gonna say that it's just kind of business as usual in the technology end with Google. I don't know what Google does with this stuff, but no, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you perfectly now. It's great.
Okay, and there's not much of a delay either, so that's good. Yeah, I mean it's hoppy, but not excessively. Mm. You definitely taste more of the malts on this one than you would in your average pale. You know, it's got a little roastiness, kind of floating beneath the radar, but yeah, this is a solid beer. I'm not sure it's the best thing I've ever had from Avery, but it's a really good beer.
Nice. Yeah, there's a little bit of lag there in your audio. Just letting you know, there's some weird technical difficulties, and if you needed to jump off and on, let me know. But otherwise, I've got a cream ale here, one that I've had before, but it's a different version or a different container, I guess. I've had this in they had a tall boy single can of this when I was out in Boston, and Mike, who occasionally does the show from Massachusetts, he gave me that can. I'd never seen it other than these little like Red Bull sized cans, you know. Well, they're obviously bigger than that since they hold a actual 12-ounce beer, but they're almost the same shape, so I always consider it that. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect.
Nice.
So it's a little darker. I mean, it looks darker on camera than it does from my end because I've got the light on the other side. So it's nice. I wasn't really familiar with cream ales. I knew a few examples in the back of my head. If you're from the Midwest, Spotted Cow is probably one of the most popular out of Wisconsin. So it's let me look this up because I actually had it pulled up a little earlier today. Yeah, so there's a lot of examples. So there's this one. There's also the Anderson Valley Summer Solstice is considered a cream ale, but it's spawned off of the American light lager style, which it's brewed as an ale and then sometimes finished with a lager yeast or a lager beer actually mixed into it. Sometimes adjuncts such as corn or rice are used to lighten up the body. So there's quite a few examples. A lot of them I can't get here. Terrapin had one. So a lot of these we can't get. The Horny Goat is out of Milwaukee, so they have one called the Exposed. I've seen that before at Minis, I think, not realizing what the style actually was. But it looks like a really good beer, and I just actually had one with dinner. And it's not bad. It's just a little bland as far as anything special going on within the style.
Yeah. No, that's part of the reason why I wasn't in a hurry to necessarily get one.
Yeah. I actually went to West Lakeview Liquors today. Here in Chicago, it's in the Lakeview neighborhood, and that's probably one of the most, one of the most memorable places in all of my beer history, I guess. Living in Chicago, that was like the first really good beer place that I went to. I actually added West Lakeview Liquor Store onto Beer Advocate before they had their own page and everything. I created that and added them on there and kind of put them. I don't want to say put them on the map because they had an amazing beer selection, and it wasn't like people in the neighborhood didn't know about them, but
Right.
it was kind of cool to be the one to add them on.
Cool.
But they've expanded a little bit. They're into the next building now, and they've got I think some food and stuff, but maybe some wines because they took like their whole counter and put it on the other side of the store. Made some room for some extra refrigeration, and then like they had the two guys that started Pipeworks here in Chicago. They actually worked at West Lakeview Liquor, so they had a huge like shrine to them. Basically, it was a bunch of boxes, just, and the whole thing was just full of all the different kinds of Pipeworks beers that you can think of. So I saw the Toasty Nut Abduction, which is just an interesting name that makes my inner child and my immaturity just giggle a little bit inside. But so you bought the Toasty Nut?
Yeah, I haven't
You
had
abducted
any
the
yet.
Toasty Nuts?
Yes, I abducted some toasty nuts. I grabbed them nuts. I haven't had any yet, but I mean, it looks fantastic. What is the combination? It's coconut, almond, cocoa nibs, and vanilla. I think are the four things that they add in there. And I mean, just there's nothing in there that says "don't drink me." It all says, "Come on, give it a shot." So I'm looking forward to cracking that open one of these days.
Yeah. You're correct. You're cutting out.
Okay. Yeah, you're
No, I
doing
missed the whole end of your sentence there.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, I think yeah. I'm not sure which side it's coming on because you're cutting out at the times too, and then they'll like speed up. So it's like the playback should be interesting on this one.
There's an interesting new app that you have to be in too. The new Draw app on the side here is pretty interesting. I don't know if you would want to mess around with it mid-show here since we've actually got it working, but it was pretty entertaining as far as before the show started. But anyways, I ended up getting a couple Pipeworks beers, but it was the what are you doing? Are you drawing on me? Oh, son of a bitch, you are. All right, now I gotta do something to you.
No, I haven't done anything. I just opened it up.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Nice.
Hold on, that missed. I looked at this one, and this kind of reminded me of the Brack show.
The Brack show? Hey, hey, Michael, I'm on TV.
I love that guy's voice.
Oh shoot! Now it's killing us.
Show.
Oh man, it just went wonky on us.
What's that?
It just went wonky on us again.
Yeah, I know. Oh, there we go. All right, maybe that'll help. All right, sorry for that horrible section of show, everybody. So, anyways, I got the Citra Saison.
Hey, how do I make this stop?
You gotta hit the little garbage can.
Okay, got it. There we go. Hopefully that does it. Come on, there we go. No,
You need me to stop moving.
there it goes.
So, anyways, I got the Citra. I don't see anything. Did you do it?
No, I took it off.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I got the Citra Saison from Pipeworks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was at West Lakeview, and I said, so is this any good? I know it just came out. I haven't seen anything online. And he said, he's like, it's pretty good. He goes, it's kind of boozy, but he's like, it's Citra. It's so juicy and delicious. He goes, but it's strong, and he goes, so I had half of it today, and then I decided I have to work, so I can't finish this beer. So I said, all right. And he goes, I'm pretty sure we'll be out of it soon because it's going to be big. It's all he said. And I said, take two. So I took two, and they're in the fridge now. And I think that's what I'll have as my second beer, because I know Ronnie's downstairs. She wants to crack that one open. So after I finish this sweet action, I will be moving along to the Citra Saison, which, if you had that, we could do a first review.
No, there you go.
Like we did that one time with.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't get it this time. So no, I haven't. Yeah.
No.
No, it kind of sucked because when I was in Vinny's, they had the beer right there, and the guy actually showed me the bottle. I was like, I can't sell it yet. They haven't put it in the system, so there's no way to scan it and give it to you. And I was like, God damn it!
That's so annoying. That sucks. You'd think it would be in the system, like nationally or something. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah.
They're not national. What am I talking about? Is Vinny's only in Illinois, or is it anywhere outside of Illinois?
No, I think they're still just local. So, we get them all to ourselves, which is kind of nice, actually. I like it that way.
Yeah, it is. So, obviously we talked last week, but it did not air, as we said before. So you were in Michigan last week. I was in Michigan the week prior to that. What beer tales or what can you report as far as what you had, or did you go anywhere cool?
Oh yeah. I mean, I basically was doing a lot of driving, so there wasn't a whole lot of touring breweries and going one to the next to the next. But I did make 2 stops, one there and one back. On the way there, I went to Dark Horse in Marshall, Michigan, that's a fantastic place. If you ever find yourself along 94 on the way to Detroit, stop there and get a beer and some food, because they make great beer and the food is awesome too. So good lunch or dinner stop. When I was there, I picked up a growler of. Well, actually, let me back up. They had just released the 12-pack of their single hop IPAs, and they had a couple. Yep, and they had some of those on tap, and they had the one with Apollo hops, that version on tap. So I got that as a taster, and then I picked up the Special Reserve Dark, which is a really tasty. It's not quite a porter, not quite a stout, but it's all good. I picked up a growler of that to bring to this convention that I was going to, because they had a beer party there, and somebody had called me up and said, "We need a dark beer." I was like, "All right, I got it." So then so there was this party at the convention that I went to, which was a science fiction convention in downtown Detroit, and the growler party there was fantastic. I mean, they had stopped at New Holland. I don't know if they'd stopped a couple of other places along the way. They must have. I forget exactly who all was represented, but it was really good. Oh, Founders. They must have gone to Founders, because they had a couple of Founders. They had Dirty Bastard. So that was outstanding. And then on the way back, I went to Greenbush. And actually, Greenbush was almost the best stop, because they had some stuff on there that I just had not seen before. And one of them, this is probably the most interesting one, was their collaboration with Great Lakes in Ohio. They did what they call a black Hefeweizen, called Pyrrhic Victory, and it was really very hoppy. It must have been a lot of wheat malts underneath that, but it tasted a lot like Anger, with a little more fruitiness lurking underneath it and a little more sweetness from the wheat. So, but it was a really good beer. I enjoyed that a lot.
Nice. So did it remind you of Anger at all, as far as like the roastiness? Because I don't remember if I've ever had a black Hefeweizen.
Yeah, no, I would say that I think what reminded me the most of Anger is that at the end of once you get to the end of a taste of Anger, you get that kind of hempy note from the hops, and that with the roastiness underneath it is it's a distinctive signature for that beer, and you could taste something very similar in the black Hefeweizen. So, but I think it's a matter of it's got to be a matter of yeast strain, and they probably the malt bill's got a bit of wheat in it, would be my guess. But a lot of either it's roasted barley malts that they have wheat added to, or they actually have roasted wheat malts. That's always possible too. But it was good. It was good. And you were there
So
too, weren't you? I mean, that was right about where you were staying.
yeah, we were staying like 6 minutes away from Greenbush. So we were there probably 2 or 3 times. It was delicious. I mean, the food there is fantastic. I mean, we were there with one person who doesn't even drink, and he was like, "This is awesome. The soda was great," he said, and he really loved the food. So, but my brother-in-law made sure that we were there at least once. He went there another time, I think, at one point. But Ronnie and I went there at least 2 other times, I think, just to grab a beer on our way to grabbing stuff for the week or whatever. Um, but you mentioned Dark Horse. I've been to Dark Horse twice. I've been there once with Brad. Maybe it was just once. I want to say twice, but I feel like I can only say one time. So, but it's very interesting when you walk in. First of all, they debuted their TV show yesterday on History Channel. Did you get a chance to watch that?
No, I didn't. I was busy catching up on Face Off on Sci-Fi. So
Ah, gotcha. Wait, Face Off, the Nicolas Cage
no.
Travolta movie?
Face Off is a no. Face Off is a movie about makeup artists, and it's sort of a reality television program where you have this big group, and
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, they do their makeup designs week to week, and then they kind of get lined up and judged, and you get the worst makeup that week, you're off the show, and it goes to the end until they get a
Gotcha.
grand finale. So
Gotcha. I'm glad. I'm actually glad because that's a horrible movie. the, uh, the John Travolta movie. Is that who it is? It's Travolta and Nicolas Cage, right?
yeah, it's Travolta and Nicolas
Switch
Cage.
faces.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, really?
Um, but anyways, this beer's kind of growing on me. There's a lot more flavor as it's warmed up, but it's got very little hop odor. Not a lot of aroma coming out of it hop-wise, but the malts are good. Yeah, I don't dislike this beer. It's a good. I would love this every time I'm cutting the lawn. It's like the perfect. And the can is actually nice to hold if you were cutting the lawn, so that's not bad. Back to what I was saying, they had a TV show premiere on History Channel last night, and I watched majority of the first episode. I think they aired like 2 half-hour episodes back to back, and the first one I paid a little bit more attention to. The second one, we had someone come home and paid a little bit more attention to that. So, I was only half watching the second one, but it's very much kind of it's true to what they said. It's not a reality show about beer. It's about their company, their business, and I guess it's a way for them to boost awareness, obviously. So, but they did a big thing on ice fishing. They were shooting guns in the first episode. The second one, they were ice fishing, so they built a shanty house, a Dark Horse shanty house to put on the lake when they go ice fishing.
Nice.
With like a TV, a dartboard, and a heater, and all this stuff. So, anyways, the guys are interesting. I can see it lasting on the History Channel based on the rest of the shows that they have on there. They're all pretty much, motorcycle shop, shows and car shows and things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of that sort of an audience driven towards that style of show. So it's not really a brewery show, but it just happens to be in a brewery. So and one that I love. So I will continue to check the show out, I think.
All right.
It's nothing that will set it aside or anything like that. I actually love Brewdogs. As much filler as they put in that show, and there's some things to it that you're kind of like, all right, just get past this and go,
Now that
Pretty
reminds
weird,
me,
but,
did you catch up on the entire season so far? Because I finally did the first 4. I think there's a fifth one that must have aired since I caught up. But you know, it's weird because I don't know what you know. Well, have you seen them all yet?
I believe so. I think there was last week where there wasn't another one
Okay.
aired or didn't show up where I usually am able to watch it on. So I believe to be caught up. If not, I'm one behind maybe.
Okay. Yeah,
When
Delaware
it
was the last
when
one
it's
I
released or
saw.
something.
Yeah, Delaware was the last one. Okay, then that's
What's up,
then
Kevin?
hopefully.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Kev.
Good.
Talking about
You
the
jumping right in the middle. We were talking about the Dark Horse show, but we're now back on Blue Dogs as we do every
Oh,
week
okay.
on the show, obviously.
It's Dark Horse show start.
Did you get a chance? I'm sorry. Yeah, it started last night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I didn't see the Dark Horse. I was just talking about how I saw the first four Brew Dogs finally. And I was kind of surprised because I thought Chicago was the most disappointing of the four episodes.
Interesting. I liked
Um,
it. The Chicago one's the most recent one I saw, and I actually liked it. I thought it was better than expected after hearing you guys talk about it.
no, I mean, and I didn't think it was bad because I thought I viewed it a couple of times just to kind of say, make sure I gave it a chance. And I mean, there's some good parts to it, but I think that the fact that they started the whole thing by going with a green beard just totally set the tone wrong for that episode because you're walking in to a microbrewery and you're basically saying, well, this is the thing that we think represents Chicago brewing, and it's green beer. And it's sort of like, yeah, that represents everything bad about Chicago beer. Thanks. But at the same time, there was fun at times, and it was nice that they went with an IPA. But the whole vegetal thing at the end, they're talking about so
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't need to have one.
No, yeah, same here.
So what you drinking there, Kev?
I have an Orange Blossom Cream Ale from Buffalo Bills Brewery, which is Hayward, California. No, there's a lot of cities on here.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's actually very tasty. Not what I normally go for in a beer. It's actually very orange cream flavored, which I love. It's just I wasn't expecting it in a beer.
So is that actually? I'm wondering if it's like an orange creamsicle style of, or is it actually a cream ale? You know what I mean?
It says it's Orange Blossom Cream Ale. It's brewed with honey and orange peel, and orange flower extract. Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, it tastes fine. It tastes good. It's just it's I when I picked it up, I actually only picked it up because I saw cream ale, and I was on my way out. I said, oh, I gotta get cream ale. Oh, there's one. Boom, I get it. And then I got it home, and I thought, oh, it's just it's got honey and a little bit of flavoring with it. But it really screams orange.
Huh.
Nice.
So what do you guys got?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I got the I went off style. I went got the 21 by Avery, so it's their 21st anniversary ale. It's an Imperial India style brown ale is how they bill it. It's really tasty, especially I think it was a little on the cooler side when I opened it up, so it's opening up a little bit now that it's warming up, and it's a nice brown ale, very hoppy, with a little bit of oomph on the alcohol content, but nothing that you can taste. It's just you can tell going through the glasses. It's kind of like, okay, there's a little here.
Yep.
Here. So.
Avery. I can't remember if I've had Avery. I know I recognize the name. Is that somewhere northeast?
No, that's Colorado.
Oh, pretty far off.
You would probably have had their Maharaja double IPA. Is it a double IPA or is it just their IPA?
That's an
you would
Imperial.
recognize.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is okay.
Yeah.
No,
I think. Okay. Well, and I've got the 6-point sweet action here.
Ah.
Comes in a 6-pack of these nice little cans here.
Looks like a Red Bull can almost.
It is. It definitely reminds me of the shape. I was saying that earlier.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's not bad. I wasn't very impressed at first. There's a lot more aroma coming out now that it's warmed up a little bit. Not a lot of hop to it. I think the IB use is only 34.
Okay.
Yep. So it's 5.2%. So it's. I mean, I would. I was just saying right before you jumped on, I would drink this while I'm cutting the lawn every day. You know, it's
Oh yeah.
nice, light. I mean, the style is brewed as a lager, so it's a good, doing the work outside, the heat kind of a beer.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to finish this one, and I've already talked about what the next one's going to be, so I'm going to go grab it and bring it up. And trying to think if there was anything that we talked about last week that we kind of want to rehash a little bit, but I'll let you guys kind of
Oh, that's right.
dive
Because
into
we're
that
on
a
the
little
air.
bit while I run downstairs really quick.
Actually, I did have an idea because actually Kevin
Yeah.
actually brought this up last week because I forget if it was on the show or before the show, but you talked about that you'd updated your cellar list recently.
Oh yeah.
And I had just done that too. I just did that today actually because you mentioned it. I was like, oh, you know what? It's probably changed a little bit. So
Mhm.
I went in and I did it. And as I was doing it, I was wondering, I wonder which one of these is going to be the one that it's sort of like I'm most anxious about seeing what it's going to taste like when I open it up in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I was wondering, do you have any on the list that you're kind of looking over and you're like going, oh yeah, that's going to be good.
The ones that I do are the special varieties of the Dark Lord because I've never I don't have no expectations. I've never tasted them. I don't know what and both of them are aged and with stuff that my palate doesn't even know. Like the one is aged in muscatel barrels. I don't
Okay.
had muscatel. It's a fortified
You
wine.
better get on that before you
And
try
no
the
concept.
beer.
What's that?
You better get on the muscatel before you open that beer, then, so you can
That's
appreciate
a good
it.
idea.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go grab that other beer. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
All right. Cool. But is that primarily like? Is there anything else? Like you know?
So the ones that I have, the one I was always so interested in was the one we opened last year, the 07 Bourbon County, and so that makes me interested to. In a couple of years or maybe a year or so, I got another 2010 in there to see how the different versions are with that age on it, because that was the first one I'd had that really had some age on it. They say 5 years on the bottle, and that was the first one I'd ever tasted at 5 years, and it was noticeably better, way noticeably better. Even for me, I don't Bourbon County Stout is not something that I'm tasting all that often.
Yeah. No, the Hardee's is like that too, in that they say 5 years minimum to crack it open and taste it, and they usually are better by the time they hit double digits, which is sort of, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, how often are you going to do that?
Yeah.
But that's also kind of setting my baseline off a little bit with these other beers because they don't age the same way. The rate is different.
Yeah.
And so then the expectations become different too.
Mm-hmm.
And there are things now that I have in my cellar that I would never have considered putting in there before, like this Love Child No. 4 by Boulevard Brewing is primarily it's a sour, so it's like I have no idea how that's going to age.
No, yeah, I'd have to look, and the only ones like I don't even have a great concept off the top of my head. I know beers that will age well are beers that have high alcohol content. I know I've actually made a point. Usually, if I'm going to put it in there, it's usually something that the bottle actually recommends it.
Right.
Like I picked up the last couple of years. I picked up some old from Goose Island because I've never tasted that over time. I've had plenty of that over the past few years, but I've never compared over time. And now I've got one that's brand new and that's a year old that I'm going to try and just see if I detect a difference or if there's any change in flavor.
Actually, that would be cool. I had Stout Day, something that you might have had a couple of times in the past. I always thought that a really cool idea would be to have something called Vertical Challenge, or vertically challenged, where you're basically doing vertical tastings at a
Yeah.
taste. You know, but that's harder to put together, obviously, because you've got to have a pretty big commitment in a lot of cases
Right.
to make it happen.
Right. We do a good job between the handful of us, especially when Swanson and his brother are having the Dark Lord. So we've tasted a few of those bottles, and you're right. It sort of pays for us to have similar collections so that we can do stuff like that.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? I mean, what's your favorite sort of beer that you kind of have in your cellar there, and you're thinking, a couple of years, I'm really kind of interested to see what this one's going to be like, more so than maybe some of the others.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested in one that I am getting tomorrow that I don't even have in my cellar yet. But I'm going to hold on to it, I think, for a while. It's the one, the collaborative between Three Floyds and the brewery.
Ah.
Okay.
And, so I'm excited to get my hands on that. But for what I have, I mean, I'm going to have to say the Dark Lords, obviously, because I want to do, like you said, like those kind of verticals sound amazing. But all of the pipe works that I've got are exciting because there's different flavors in all of them. I've got quite a few. I also have an Imperial end of. I don't have too much. The oldest stuff that I've got is probably the Dark Lords. Everything else, like I've got a couple Expedition Stouts that I'm excited about. I've got some Bourbon County. I've got a couple of the variants of Bourbon County. I've got the barley wine still. I think we talked about that last week. So I don't know. I'm excited about them all, and I'm actually, I don't know. I always think about it, and I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to drink. I want to drink this like at the perfect time, but you always say it always reminds me of that scene in Sideways when that guy was hanging on to that one bottle of wine for the perfect moment and this and that, and then doesn't he end up like drinking it out of a solo cup like in a moldy hotel room or something like that? Like that he just like pops it open and starts.
Oh yeah, and like while he's eating a cheeseburger, he's like got a cheeseburger in one hand and that beer in the other because I think he saw online that someone had posted that it had finally gone past its prime. And so it's like he just doesn't give a shit anymore.
What you got there?
So this is a new guy from Pipeworks. It just came out. This is their Citra Saison. Nice little livery glass. Oh wow! It smells very Saison-ish. Cool bottle. I think this is a 9%. This feels and looks to me like it's bigger than their normal bottles. This is 9.4. What are they usually?
That could be the champagne style bottle.
I think it is.
Why. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems big. But I just am getting pummeled with the Saison yeast. It's very musty. But then there's like wheat, the light grassy. And then there's the Citra. Oh my God, this is really good.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a home run. I like that. I'm glad I got two. Yeah, the guy at West Lakeview Liquors was like, all right, I'll have two. He goes, yeah, it's gonna be big. People are gonna like it. He's like, I just tried it today. It's fantastic. It's a really great beer. It looks great. It's it's not you can't see through it or anything like that. It's cloudy enough.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great Saison. But man, it's got that that musky smell like when you first have a Saison or any of those farmhouse ales.
Yeah.
It's got that weird muskiness. But this one kind of, it's just the initial smell, and then it's weedy, and it's a good beer, man. I haven't had a good Saison in a while. But that initial smell, man, it almost reminds me of like, I And this sounds really bad when I say it, but I don't mean it. But it reminds me of body odor. Like, that initial, it's so weird. I know, it sounds bad, but it's not. It's a good beer. So I don't know how to explain it. Get the beer.
No, I mean, it's a lot like a good cheese. You know, some of the best cheeses are really stinky, you know. And it's like you don't expect the flavor, but, you know, you get past the smell and you take that first bite, it's like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, I recommend this beer. It's really good. I'm glad I got a couple of
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
better
Did
than
you?
mine.
There's so
Yeah,
Pipeworks is
just
usually
came out,
such a good selection around here. It's like there's always like 10 different beers from Pipeworks.
And at
Nice.
this place, dude, I mean, the guys from Pipeworks came from West Lakeview Liquors, so they have like a shrine to them. When you first walk in, there's like there's a whole setup of tons of their bottles, and this is one of them being showcased like right up front. So I said, I'm gonna have to try that.
Did I hear that?
Because I just Regina and I were.
Yeah, Pipeworks is canning. They're
Yes.
going to be next year. Actually, what's that? No, go ahead.
Okay, that is right.
Yeah. No, at 2015, they're set to...
They're expanding too.
Yeah, they're expanding into a new facility right next to Off Color Brewing. So I think that's west. Actually, it might not be too far away from you, Kevin. I want to say it's...
Oh, that's out here. Oh.
Yeah, it could be Naperville-ish. I forget where Off Color is. But what they're doing is it sounds like they're going to be doing the canning line out there, the new canning line, and they're going to be doing the regular special beers, if that makes sense. And then they're actually turning the old location into a souring facility. So that will be dedicated to sour brewing. Which I don't think I've ever had a Pipeworks sour. I don't know if they've released any yet. So that should be interesting.
I don't think they do. Their place is so small, they couldn't do sours and everything else that they do. It would all get contaminated.
Yeah.
So that's why they're doing separate houses. So that's cool. I love that. I didn't get to read too many details. Do you know, because originally I know that they were supposed to be moving into there's like a jiu-jitsu gym right next to their current location, and they were going to move in and have like an office with merch and a tap house where you can get a growler fill and everything. So do you know if they talked about whether...
No, I don't. I was just remembering that I must have seen it somewhere that they were canning, but I don't know the story about it.
And I remember the story about the jiu-jitsu place next door to the original facility, but I don't remember if that actually ever flew. I knew that it was something that was in the works, but I never saw like the big flashy news story saying the bottle shop and merch shop is open now and come on in. So I'm wondering if this was sort of like...
No, they never did.
Yeah, they must not have. So my guess is that kind of came and went. I mean, I could be wrong.
I find it hard to believe that would have happened and we wouldn't have heard about it. We're the target audience for that sort of news.
Yeah exactly.
Well,
No
we
doubt.
have been talking about the Lagunitas opening for the last year and a half, so it's breaking news. But speaking of, I'm actually plan to go there finally on Monday.
Oh, yeah?
Monday next week.
Cool.
Nice.
So I will be sure to post pictures and whatever I can. Man, I was recently on the CTA, and I don't know if it's going to be on my computer, so I'm not going to bother trying to pull it up. But I was on the CTA, and Goose Island is, I don't know if anyone's noticed in the Chicagoland area, but Goose Island is advertising quite a bit. There's a lot of billboards up within the city, and I've also noticed on our way out to Schaumburg last weekend, we even saw a billboard out there. So Goose Island's got a lot more. What's that? I'm sorry, I missed what you were doing there, Kev.
Oh, I was sitting. I realized there was a Goose Island ad right next to me.
Oh. So yeah, I got on the CTA last Wednesday, and the outside of the whole car that I got into was all decorated as if it was like a wooden barrel. It had the Goose Island logo all over the side of the train. And I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, like Goose Island's got all this ad money. And then I stepped into the train, and everything. The wall to the
Oh, yeah?
ceiling was covered in what appeared to be fake wood and had like all these like slogans for Goose Island all along the side. It was crazy looking.
Huh.
I was kind of blown away. Yeah, I mean everything was covered in Goose Island stuff. While we're talking, I'm going to
No. We lost you.
try.
You let Mike freeze up on you?
Oh, did I freeze?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear and see you guys.
Nope. No, yeah, you've been on and off for most of the time I've been on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So is Dan. It's for me at least. So I don't know what's going on. I'm interested to see what this looks like when it uploads, as Dan said earlier. But anyways, so on Sunday, Kevin and I were able to check out a new brewery that I had never been to. And that was your first time too.
No,
right?
I hadn't been there either, even though it's basically right down the street. We went to.
So we were at the.
Oh, sorry, Mike, you're freezing up.
No, I think we're all freezing up over each other. So like, there's such a delay that we keep like talking over each other, or it appears to be that we're talking over each other when the other one's like responding. So I apologize if this is really shitty for anyone who's watching this, but
Damn you, Wi-Fi!
I'm not even on Wi-Fi. When I do the show, I plug it in because I go direct wire because I know that it's just going to be shitty regardless. So I might as well help it in any way I can. So
Nice.
So, but anyways, we went to Nevin Brewing Company, and go ahead and talk about what your opinion was, Kevin.
Yeah, I had. Well, to start, aside from the beer, the menu was fantastic. I was very surprised, and I'm definitely going to go back because the food that we had was really good, and the food that I didn't have sounded really good. There was like I don't know, there was a dozen things on there that I would have picked in a heartbeat. But the beer was good. The beer I think I'd had a couple of their beers, just like the pale ale at one of the beer festivals we went to before, but we had the best one I had two, and then I tasted everybody else's. But the best one I had was a style that I don't normally love, but it was a Bock, and it was really good. It was a really good version of a Bock. You know, I like a Bock when it's really good. I don't like it when it's not good. And this was a really good one, and I recommend it. The other one I had was the IPA, which was a contentious IPA, which I think might be considered their flagship. I've heard of it before. They've had it a few times. It was good. It was just a good IPA. There was nothing really much noteworthy about it, except it was a good IPA and a nice sunlit patio at a brew pub, which is always great.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I was trying to remember. I had I don't remember the first one maybe Michael remember that Erin had, because I had a taste of her beer. Oh no, that's because she had the same one as I did. That's what it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you guys had the same thing.
Yeah, we did.
What was the one that I had? It was the it was the stronger IPA. I forgot what it was called, but it was the one. It was basically it had a few more points of ABV, more hops. It was just a bigger IPA. Maybe instead of asking about, I'll just look it up.
Oh yeah. But you had that. You had the porter too. The porter was really good.
Yeah, that porter was really good.
Wait, what was the brewery again?
Nevin
Brewing Company.
They opened exactly a year and a half ago, about 3 miles from my house. It's right in the northernmost part of Plainfield.
Okay.
It's in the location that used to house Limestone Brewing Company.
Oh, okay. So it was the kind of ready to move in facility almost.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you would. Yeah. It was tough to picture anything but a brew pub restaurant there. just because of how big it was in the room for the brewing equipment. And then even with that, they built on a patio off to the side that seems like it must be able to use in 3 seasons. It's got retractable sides, the kind of place you could throw some of those heaters out there.
Yeah, like at Founders.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Did you find out what it was, Mike?
Exactly. So they've got well, I don't think this was the name of it, but maybe I'm wrong. There's Nevin's Bach It
That's
Up.
the one that I had, yeah.
Okay, so that's the Bach. The Baltic Porter I had was called the Bolsha Moi.
Okay.
Bolsha, and then the other word is spelled Moi.
Mm-hmm.
You had the contentious IPA. I had the Fool's Proof.
That's right, it was, yeah.
Which is their, that one was full of everything. It had Simcoe, Chinook, Centennial, Cascade, Columbus, and then it was crazy. But Ronnie liked the IPL that they had, the Imperial.
I had a sip of that.
Lager.
That was pretty
okay.
It was pretty good. They have some new ones that I did not see, though.
Oh, yeah.
Self-Deprecation. Did they have that one?
What style is it? Do you know?
It's chocolatey. It says chocolatey beer.
No.
Oh, wow. I'll just read it. Self-Deprecation is a deeply intense chocolatey beer that we've allowed to soak up in the fine spirits of Woodford Reserve's used barrels. This adds a depth of...
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Southside Stout. They've got a summer session beer.
Yeah, they had that.
Triple hopped brewed. Yeah, they had. I hate the phrase YOLO. I can't stand it. YOLO.
They should make a black IPA called YOLO.
But yeah, I really like that place. It they kept the stage, so I assume they still have like music acts there. So that's kind of cool. But I really dug that place. I'm glad. I would be happy if I were you. You're kind of smack dab in the middle of a couple good places.
Yeah, between that and now and the last 2 weekends I've gone there and to Hopvine, which was cool too.
Salmo is expanding.
What's that? Salmo,
yeah.
Yeah, I bet it's fun. I've been to all 3 of those in the last 2 weekends.
I was going to say that sounded like there was another one opening up around out there too, and I forget if it was in Plainfield or if it was Naperville or or Westmont or something, into the area. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot going out by you. I mean, there has been for a while.
Except for the first time, what was Penrose in Nice? I still haven't had it because remember when we were at Beer Under Glass. Dan, I think you got to try theirs, but they're in Geneva, like out on the Fox River.
Yeah.
I saw it. I didn't get a chance to pick it up, but I saw it at the Binnie's in Downers Grove.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Penrose. To take a look at their samplings because Beer Under Glass gets to be a blur while you're there and after. Exactly. A little bit of now later.
And, I saw a lot of Penrose at Binnie's the last time I was there.
You did? Okay, I was saying the first time I'd ever seen it.
Now, I'm trying to remember. Did Beer Under Glass have a lot of Uniani beers there? Because I've seen a lot of their stuff going into Binnie's now and kind of growing, not exponentially, but little by little they're adding on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember them being at the fest with me.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But
I want to say
might have been swamp.
Yeah.
I might be able to figure that out actually because I think I have the list here.
I
might have it.
The the Binnie's in Downers Grove, the one like we're at 88 and 355. They've got an entire aisle of just Illinois.
Oh, they do.
So it's much more than any of the other Binnie's that I know, and they've got they've got Pipeworks for 10 feet, and they've got Off Color Brewing. That's where a couple of shows ago I had the Off Color. I don't know, it was a double something or other, but it was I'm trying to remember what. And they've got 6 feet of shelf space for just something like Off Color Brewing. So I've actually liked stopping in that Binny's lately just for all the different local ones.
Yeah, and I mean that.
Oh,
go ahead.
Sorry, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was looking for an opening here. I was just going to answer you before. Uniani was at Beer Under Glass. They're actually right next to Nevin's Brewing Company.
And I didn't go to Nevin's. That's why. Yeah.
Oh, that was over in the corner. I remember. No, I don't remember where they were.
Yeah. Here.
I'm thinking.
So here's the map, and they were in this little section.
Oh yeah, I remember that section. That was that. So, that's the part of the fest that was a little bit like a Renaissance fair, where things are like getting off to the corner, and you're like looking through the trees, and there they are.
This is over there. Okay. Let's see, 32, 31, 32, 33, 34. So we had foodstuffs. I don't know what that is. That must have been a food vendor.
Yeah.
Argus Brewing, Uniani, and Nevin's.
Oh God, I totally missed that section. I remember seeing it, and never going.
Brothers. Greenbush was there.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Crap. That was like it's a third festival off to the side that we never went to.
Yeah, I don't know if my feet could have.
Dan,
maybe the mud was so bad.
Like that, then you should have been there the last year when it truly was all the different, because it was in the greenhouse itself. So you go to little rooms all over the place, you get lost and not even realize there's a whole part of the festival you've never even seen.
I'm so on board with that. I mean, that was the one thing that I kind of made as a vow for next year. It's like, if it's outside, I've really got to think hard about going again, but if it's inside, I will totally go back. But the whole outside thing is sort of like,
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I agree. But, Uniani's was there. I think
It's frozen.
Might have just been even know it. But I've tried them. And another one of the breweries that are local to Chicagoland is one that's
froze again.
That's growing a lot of beers at Binny's now is really? I'm really cutting out again?
Yeah. Just a little
bit. I'm seeing the same things of you guys. I'm just... I know you guys are the same to me, so hopefully this doesn't look like shit when it loads. But anyways, another brewery is Only Child out of Northbrook, Illinois.
Yeah.
And when they first came out, they only had like 2 or 3 beers, and now there's like an entire shelf at Binny's that's just all their beers.
Yeah.
Especially at Highland. No, I was going to say, especially at Highland Park where you are, because that's almost like their home Binny's.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally down the road from them.
Exactly.
Actually, I'm going to go grab another beer real quick before we spin the wheel, and I will be right back.
All right.
All right, sounds good.
Hurry up, spin it.
So yeah, that was a good time. What's that? But I don't know what we want to add or take off. I guess we're just going to leave it and see what happens. I'll leave cream ale on just because whatever.
You're being lazy.
I could take it off.
Give us cream ale, we'll just roll again.
Well, that's what I
heard you, people.
It's
spin.
Cream ale. Do we want to add anything? There's pumpkin beers are out.
No! We get another couple weeks. It's still July.
I don't know.
Still July.
It's cold enough for pumpkin beers some days.
Oktoberfest itself is in September, so we'll wait for that month. So where we add that on. But we've got a good list here. But do we want to add anything off? I'm taking Saison out of here, or I'm sorry, I'm taking the cream ale out of here, which I've already done.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm comfortable with it. We've had a lot on there, and we've got some exciting stuff still on there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not empty by any means. It's pretty full. So, are we ready to spin, or is there anything else? What you got?
I'm ready.
Oh, I got the Citra Pale Ale from Oddside.
Ooh.
That as soon as you brought up the Citra Saison, I was like, oh, I've got some Citra in there that I could really have next. And it's a good one.
Yeah, we put together like a little 6-pack in the that little when you're at Greenbush, that little farmers kind of garden market like behind it where there's like food and stuff. So their beer selection's decent, and
It is.
they do a mix and match. So one of the beers was that one, and Ronnie had it. I got to try it, so I was like, damn, this is really good. So that, yeah, and you said you got a couple 6-packs of it?
No, I just got 1 6 of that, and I got a 6 of the Pandemonium by Shorts. But yeah, I'm glad I got this one for sure. I mean, the Pandemonium is good. But this is really good.
Yeah, man, I highly recommend this beer. Go get it right now.
Good.
Are you guys ready to spin?
Yeah.
Yes. All right. First spin, I think. This one,
Yep.
it's not making noise.
New York.
New York
Going way down
beer.
here. Yeah, we're going for beers from New York. I already did that. I
Did
just
you
said
have one
6
today? Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, we're going to New York. There's some good
Yeah.
choices there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably some. That should be interesting, especially if Mike from Massachusetts shows
Oh,
up,
he's
'cause
probably
he
got much
has
better
really good
selection
stuff.
than we do.
Yeah, so that'll be cool. I'll make sure to let him know that we spun that.
Cool.
So, all right, cool. It looks like it's about 9 o'clock, which is where we're usually ending. So I will thank you guys again for joining, as usual.
Thank you.
And we will meet together, as we always do, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Google+. Please join us on Google+, if you want to jump in and get on an invite for the show for any other future episodes. Please do. Just look for me by name and actually this logo, and you'll know that you've got the right Mike Copera. Follow us and subscribe on our blog at podcastcondition.com. We also have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. It's a social network out there. I'm probably on it. So just look us up. And like I said, you can watch these on YouTube as well, so you can subscribe to our channels and get notified when a new episode goes up every week. So thank you guys for watching. We will be drinking beers from New York next week. And cheers.
Cheers.
That delay just totally fucked up that whole cheers.
Oh, what did we just put you?
And you guys aren't even going to get that message for like another 5 seconds.
You're